Tired too, man. I don't feel bad about it. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the party. Shit, goddamn train. That's a high blower, yo. That should be a high blower. That should be a high blower when we do the show. I'm like, yeah, this is bullshit. What happened?
I said you got fucking Grand Central Station by your house.
Yo, for real. Nigga, turn your volume up. We can't hear you.
I know you said.
Correction. This is a positive space. I should not be using the N word.
Oh, hello? Is that better?
Still kind of low, but I can still hear you. Um, yeah. Yeah, it was just a long week, B. I can't even explain it. It's just off mentally, off physically. I'm beat, son. Like the last couple of nights when Hunter went to bed, I went to bed right with him. Like I don't even got the energy to stay up. Like yo, come on.
Bro, I get up at 4 o'clock every morning to be at work at 7, so you know my ass is tired.
Damn, 4.
Yeah, bro.
So I tell you what, you want to start doing the show maybe an hour earlier?
Nah. Nah,
Yo, I'm trying to help you out. So you can try to sleep.
I'm good.
That's cool. All right, let me check. All right, so basically, yo, we can pick up where we left off last week. Did you get time to do your soundtrack?
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Yeah, I couldn't find the fifth song, but I got 4 songs. I just couldn't
I
find
got
that
I,
fifth one.
I got 4 songs too.
Okay, good. I don't feel bad. So what you got? Well, let me get a pen
Hold
so
on.
I can write this
Hold on a
down.
second. Sam calling me.
All right, all right.
Hold on a second. What's up, babe?
See, dirty duties never stop, yo. You see how we work?
Yeah. What you still doing up?
Even now. That's what I'm talking about. This is what we're here for. You get to see us in real form. Now, give me a minute because I'm trying to find me a piece of paper because I gotta write down these songs. I'll get it after Birfmark come back to the show. Um, yeah. So anybody out there who's listening on YouTube land, Riverside land, we gonna drop our soundtracks to our life. If you got a soundtrack that you want to share with us, feel free to share your soundtrack. It's cool. You can put it in this chat. You can put it in the YouTube chat. If you want, we're gonna post our soundtrack on our IG page. Um, guess our soundtrack will sit there and let you know a little bit more about us and our daily, and our daily emotions. But other than that, that's live. And like I said, tonight we're gonna have one of the most controversial topics: deadbeat parenting. Like we gonna, I know we got stories, so we encourage anybody out there who got stories, let us know because this is what this is about. Like look, I'm being a good daddy. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we here for. You see that? That's parenting right there. You know, that's definitely what's up. Oh, now he doing the loving couple thing, talking to the missus. Yeah. Tell Teresa I said hi.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, turn that radio down. All right. You know what? I can't wait till I go to the barbershop because you can see my little bald spot right here. You know what I'm saying? You can see the light shining off my joints. So it's bad embarrassing, sir. Oh man, give me a second. Let me get some pieces of paper.
You hear me better?
Yeah, I'm back like I never left, baby. What's up? Birthmark, where you go? Hey, Birthmark is just trying to work on his volume. But I'm gonna keep the party going. Like I was saying, this is our show where we're gonna finish off just like music from last week when we drop out. You're supposed to do 5 song soundtrack, but both of us only can think of 4 songs.
You hear me better now?
Yes, we do hit. Yeah, I hate you better now.
All right, that's good.
So,
Take the headphones
so
off.
that's cool. So what's your
Now,
first?
these
Yeah,
4 songs, is it 4 songs from childhood to now?
yeah,
Or
like
is it
any.
just 4 songs that just make you feel a certain way and get you a certain type of way or mood or whatever?
I would say 4 songs that describe your life so far, from childhood to now. You know.
Okay, I mean, the 4 songs I picked was just songs. It wasn't really from childhood because that was hard for me to find. But it
So
was just
okay.
it was just. I mean, maybe one was like from a childhood, not really childhood, but I heard the song when I was in my teens, and I loved it so much that it was one of my favorite songs back then. But it wasn't really. It's not really a soundtrack that I can think of because I was trying to find some songs. Because like when I was younger, I was shy, so I was trying to find songs that was talking about a kid growing up being shy to whatever, and I couldn't find no shit like
Yeah,
that.
kind of shit like that. I feel
So
that's why I only got 4 songs.
so it was kind of hard for me to like just get because I also different stages of my life, but the 4 songs that I picked so far was like just songs that made me feel a whatever. You want me to go first or you want to go first?
Oh, please, please, you got the floor.
All right, so the first one I picked, like I said, was in my teens. So I used to be a big NWA fan. And for those that you don't know who NWA is niggas with attitude. It's the West Coast, rap group. It was Easy E, MC Ren, Dr. Dre, and
Yeah,
Ice Cube.
yeah.
So I used to listen to them hard body. I also used to listen to Ice Cube hard body too, but NWA. So I had their albums or whatever. So it was one song that I always used. Matter of fact, like I said, it was a childhood song because again I was shy growing up, and I was always a cool kid. I thought people who knew me knew that I was cool, but the girls didn't like me or whatever because I wore thick ass glasses. So this one song, after I heard it all the time, it always stuck with me. It's called "You Don't Have to Front." It's by NWA. So I
Okay.
can't really. Matter of fact,
No, no, no. What you do is like this. You do. Just give us the names.
yeah, yeah,
Anybody who wants to listen to it in your own time.
yeah. And when you
That's
listen
what
to
we
it, it's gonna make you laugh. It's not really a
do.
song. It's like a skit song, but it's called "You Don't Have to Front" by NWA. And the premise of the skit song was pretty much like, you ain't got to front on me, like, you know, and it gets a little explicit because NWA was very explicit, so it says some stuff, but pretty much like I said, the basis of it, the premise of it was you ain't got to front on me, why you fronting, blah blah blah, other. So that's that. Then another song I have, more of a new school type song. Well, not really new school. This was like in my 20s as well, maybe, because 90s hip hop was kind of the dopest shit ever. Like I always, me and my peoples, John included, or Easy included, and some of my other people, we always had aspirations of just getting together and do shit. So one of my biggest songs that I always love, even to this day, Jadakiss, "We Gonna Make It." Like it's just an inspirational song. Pretty much, it's like whatever we gonna do, we gonna ride or die, but we definitely gonna make it. And then growing up in the hood, you know, we always like the good thing about the people that we chill with, most of us, we all had aspirations to do better and get up out the hood. And pretty much that's what that song is about. We gonna make it by Jadakiss. Um, a little bit more recent, um, something like with the same. Well, okay, a little bit more recent. As I got older, I became more into myself, and I was able to start dating, and I started to do certain things. So I used to dance a lot. I used to go to parties a lot. I used to just chill and have fun and enjoy what I didn't get to enjoy in my younger times because I was so shy and the girls didn't like me. So another one of my favorite songs is Chris Brown's "Strip." That's my
Whoa.
shit. Yeah, that's my shit. Yeah, I just want to see you strip. Like that. That was a phase of my life. Like I said, in my late 20s, early 30s, it was like, look, I'm finding who I am. You coming through? I want you to strip. Like let's get it rocking. Let's get it cracking. Like
He's an active dough too.
show
Oh
me
wow,
what you got. Like for real, that's what it is.
that's live.
Then another song, like I said, I only got four. Again, as I got older, as I started to pay attention to awareness, as I started to pay attention to my blackness, as I started becoming a part of the organizations that I'm in, everything was about black empowerment. So my last song that I really love is Kendrick Lamar, "We Gonna Be Alright." So
That's
right now,
cool.
those are my four songs. They pretty much stem on the basis of what I like, who I am, and what I feel. There's a lot more because I can get in depth about other stuff too. Like I know that people in the world, y'all may say something about this next gentleman that I'm about to talk about, but the person was an animal and he was crazy and he got some repenting to do. But as a musician, he's a genius, and he done brought all of us through some times, and especially dudes, we done said some of these words, and a lot of chicks had babies off of his music. So R.
Mhm.
Kelly, any song R. Kelly has, any album he has was banging. So like I said, the person, I don't condone what he did as a person, but his music, he's a musical genius.
Well,
So
I guess there's always a thin line between genius and insanity.
exactly.
So we see
Yeah,
it.
Kanye West, a musical genius,
Kanye
but
West,
mentally,
Michael
it's
Jackson. So
well, see,
we.
Michael, I'm on his side because he didn't do all
I'm
the stuff
not
that
saying that
Kendrick.
Michael was wrong, but I'm just saying he was a thin line between genius and insanity.
Exactly,
So
exactly,
they was musical greats, but they had other stuff they had to work out, whether it was
exactly.
good, bad, or indifferent. So yeah, all right. So that's cool. So that's real. Jadakiss, we gonna make it.
Yep. So my
So
list again, I got number one,
NWA, we
NWA.
don't.
You don't have to front.
Yeah.
Number two, we gonna make it Jadakiss. Number three, Strip, Chris Brown. Number four, we gonna be alright, Kendrick Lamar.
All right. So all right. That's cool. And I'm glad you mentioned the whole song about when we was younger and like. I mean, we was cool with each other, but the outside, maybe especially the ladies wasn't really checking for us like that.
Exactly.
And you made a song pop up in my head when you said that. So I think I found my fifth song. But
Ah, there we go.
my first song was Eric Sermon, Just Like Music, because it's
Oh,
not nothing that I've been through where music just wasn't connected. It's a song that I could probably think about every individual instance that I've been through. Like, whoa. Like, so just like music, that was just like let me know music is like part of the life. Um, when I got a little bit older and I started hitting my party days or my drinking days, shots, my little John L. Like, there was a time, a point where I drink anything, like, yo, whatever, let's get it. And it's just like a feel good party song. Like, and when I partied, like, after work, late night. And for me being that introvert dude that I used to be, that was that one time I was extrovert. When I was going out, just hitting the streets hard. And then I was like, nah, this ain't for me no more.
yeah.
Um, Another song, Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father Again.
Okay.
That everybody anybody who don't know, yeah, I lost my pops, and that was my dude. So it was just like to not having that around anymore, especially like experiencing my first Father's Day as a father was my first Father's Day without my father. So it was like a double whammy, and it's
Mm.
just like there's certain things that I just wish he was still around so I could just talk to him about, just shoot the shit as grown men. Like, yo, how did you handle this situation? Just um, how many songs was that? Oh no, my fourth
That was
song
three. Yeah.
is a little bit off the wall. It's called "It Could Have Been Me" by the Struts.
By who?
By the Struts.
The
Struts.
Struts.
S, yeah,
Oh,
Struts.
UTS.
Yeah. It's basically a song. It's not hip hop. It's not R&B, but it's a song where they just talk about listen, don't waste your life. Like I literally want to feel the pain, the happiness. I want to give it all because at the end of the day, if you don't give it 100%, you're not really gonna, you're not gonna live your fullest. So sometimes you got to step out the box. And the fifth song that just came to my mind because you was talking about our childhood, I can't remember the artist. I think his name was Skilo, and he's talking about, I wish I was a little
A
bit
little bit
taller. I wish I
taller. I
was a
wish it was a
baller.
baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. Yep, that's
Yeah,
Kilo.
that song right there. I was like, yo, as a kid,
It's
I
called I
wish.
Wish.
Yeah, I wish I was more of maybe not a little bit taller because I was tall, but I wish I was that athlete that all the chicks wanted to go after. I wish I was that bad boy that all the chicks wanted to go after. Because me being who I was, they wasn't trying to see me. Now,
Yeah, none of them was. It was
yeah,
horrible back then.
and it's okay. But at that time during my childhood, I wish I was a different dude so I can get more play. I mean, now I'm glad I wasn't that dude because they got all the play, but I'm glad to say I didn't have to go through a lot of the hardships that they went through. Like some of them have kids out of wazoo. Some of them just had, just like it just wasn't for me. It wasn't my style.
Copy.
So when I found myself around who I was, that wasn't my personality. I wasn't gonna feel comfortable just running up and marrying chicks. So
Me
those
neither.
yeah, those are my five songs. And
That's what's
that's
up.
about it.
It's a good look. I
That's
mean,
it.
music is great though. Music, like, it puts you in a different mindset. Some people listen for music for therapy. Some people listen because they just like to dance or whatever
I,
the situation is. But
I agree with you on that one. Music is definitely therapy because you know it's shit hot, bro. Right? But yeah, because there's been days when you can have the worst day, and that right song will flip it all around. Like early in the morning, Hunter gets up, and because we have Alexa, I don't have to listen to me. He'll have her play like the whole Encanto soundtrack.
I know you told me.
Yo, son, like this, like I literally have a disco ball in my bathroom with one of the Alexas, and he rocks out the whole morning in the shower.
That's what's up.
And like before he had it in the bathroom, I used to wake him up. I used to play Pharrell, happy like
Yeah, you told
music.
me that.
Yeah, so it's like music is everything, man. You
I
know what
just
I
got
mean?
Taryn into Michael Jackson.
Ooh,
Like,
that's
that's
a lot.
crazy. A 7-year old likes Michael Jackson. Like,
Cause
I
look,
show her the
music,
remember the, I show
good
her the
music
Remember the
is good
Time
music.
video, and when she saw that, she was hooked. She likes Remember the Time. She likes The Way You Make Me Feel. I was like, yo, my daughter likes Michael Jackson.
Yeah, man.
You
Like
feel
the
me?
thing about it is that a lot of these kids would like the artists that we know if we introduce them to artists.
Exactly.
Like a lot of these artists are stealing,
Yeah, samples
um,
and everything from
they
older artists.
sampling the music. So it's like, okay, we know the song. Like, nah, that's not the original one. But if you take the time and play the original one, and the young Joe will be like, oh,
Yeah, like, oh, what's
okay,
that? Exactly.
because that's how we got hooked. Our parents played the older music. We was like,
They
oh,
played
this is
old music. Like,
like, oh,
when I used to go to Will House,
I know
his
Mr.
his
Becker
pops
used to.
used to always used to play funk,
I
like
know Mr. Becker
Parliament,
used to play that
P
shit.
Funk, Earth, Wind and Fire. Like, he always used to play that. Like he will be bumping it. That's how I got hooked on Earth, Wind and Fire because
Hold up, we
definitely
gotta
used to
try
play that.
Toya. Oh, see, she's sharing her soundtrack with us.
Okay,
One, Lifehouse by Simone or by Simon. Two, Jenny Owen, If You Want Me To. Three, Anita Baker, Fairy Tales.
I see it.
And Sia Alive. And five is Pink, Fucking Perfect. Oh, okay. There's a song called Fucking Perfect.
Yeah, she let me. She told me about that song before, and I listened to it. That's what's
Yes.
up, Toya.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what it is. I remember that's how I learned all that old school music, man. I remember, and the
Yeah,
one, and, and it was dope because not only did my parents teach me their music, they kept open mind for my music.
yeah.
Because I remember the day my pops brought me the score from the Fugees,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Nah, play it in the living room. I want to hear it too."
Yeah.
And we was jamming to the Fugees. He was like, "Oh, okay, this ain't bad."
That's
You know,
what's
but
up.
most of the rap songs I listened to wasn't really like I listened to Talib Kweli and Most Def and all that. Yeah, I had my time when I listened to my Goon when Bad Boy was on the scene. I listened to my Biggie and my Craig Mack and my Black Rob. I really wasn't a Mace or a Loon fan, but
Yeah.
I was down with my gritty stuff. But and that's one of the funny moments with music. His name is Biggie Smalls, right? My pops had the tape. He put down Big E Smalls. I was like, I'm gonna let him have that. I'm not even gonna correct him on that, son. You can have it, son.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, wow, Big E Smalls. Okay, you can have that.
I mean, I was lucky. My mom's used to listen to a lot of gospel music, and she's my mother was born in 1941, so the '60s, like Diana Ross and the Supremes and Smokey Robinson. That was her era. I mean, she didn't listen. She listened to it and she knew the songs because, of course, growing up, that's what she did. But she was more into gospel music. So, but when I was younger, she used to the yellow little Walkman, the Sony Walkman that you
Yeah.
flip. She got me one of those, and she saw that I was interested in music, and then I used to sing too. So, she saw I was interested in music.
I
So
remember you used to be on the choir.
I was in choirs and at the church, and then when I went to college, I was in choir at college. I used to be in plays, and I used to sing these role in plays and do the lead, whatever. So it was a good look. And when we used to travel and go down south, or when we went to Texas or whatever, like when we used to stop at the rest areas, they used to sell music in there. So my mom's or whatever tape, like Boyz II Men when they first, no, when BBD first came out, I got the few, I was at tapes like tapes and tapes. Then, like I told you before last week, I used to make fuck tapes. So I used to get all these singles when the Wiz was downtown. They used to sell the singles for 99
The
cents
Wiz and Beat Street.
and B Street. They used to sell the singles for 99 cents. I used to do that, and I used to mix on a tape player, two side tape player. So it was cool. Like music is great for me. I love music. Even to this day, when I'm in the car, depending on my mood, like going to college, it turned me into other different genres of music. Like I used to study off of classical music, off of jazz. Like I love like I if I want to think and I want to like be in the mood to do certain shit, I turn on some jazz. It's a rap. You know, Dating Spanish women, I learned how to I learned how to listen to merengue, bachata, and salsa, and I'll play that and mix that. And then going to an all Caribbean high school, I'll listen to my little Jamaican music, my reggae, my dancehall. Like
So
I'm
you,
all
you
over the place. I
know,
just do it
I
up,
don't do the Jamaican music.
bro. I love it.
You
Like when I
know,
go to
you
Jamaica.
learned that one time we went to Carib.
Oh. So guys, this is a story. I'm gonna tell you. I was dating this chick, and Jonathan was dating her friend who also went to the same college. So we went to this Jamaican spot in New Rochelle called Carib. Like we went just to hang out because they was like, let's go out. So we went out. So we in there. Like I said, it's a Caribbean club. So all they playing pretty much is reggae, dancehall. Incident happened. So I was like, yo, we told the chicks, like, we be right. We're going to the bathroom. We're going to get drinks. We walked to the bathroom. Mind you, it was mad crowded. So we had to go all the way around to fucking get some drinks. So we go to the bathroom. Then we come back out to go get the drinks. And we walking back around. So while we walking, this chick, random chick, we trying to get past. We not trying to dance. We trying to get past, get some drinks or whatever. We walk past, random chick just puts her butt up on me and she starts dancing. So what am I going to do? I'm gonna start dancing back.
I started dancing back.
That's just what it is. I thought she wanted to dance, so I'm dancing with her. Then like 2, 3 minutes later, her man come up and was like, "Yo, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like your girl was dancing with me. What's the problem?" So he trying to come in my face, and then of course John is standing right behind him. He turned around. He was like, "Oh shit," because John is a big ass dude. Now, if he knew what I know, John is a little a big teddy bear. But just
Hey,
looking
hey,
at
I defend my peoples.
of course you do. I'm not saying you don't. But just look, he turned around and saw John. He's like, "Oh, my bad, my bad." That was the funniest fucking night ever. That shit was so funny.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, dude was really shook. I'm like,
he was
son,
shook.
he was shook. I was like, damn, son, I ain't mean it like that. I was just,
He just
but
like, yo,
basically,
John just came right behind him like, "What, nigga?" That shit was funny.
because I'm like, yo, why you so close? Like, yo, that's your shorty, fine, that's cool, but
You need to be
Why
mad
you?
at her because she the one
Yeah,
that
be
did
mad at
it.
her. She jumped. Yeah, she threw it on him. But I mean, moral of the story is that's the night I discovered what Jack Daniels was. Because I don't dance Caribbean music, so I basically sat at the bar, drunk the bar out of Hennessy, and I was like, "So what you got that tastes like Hennessy?" He said Jack Daniels. After that, I've been hooked.
That's it. Jack is the best.
But it's just like, so I don't do Caribbean music because my thing is sometimes it's like you're basically just fucking with your clothes on.
Yes.
I don't know you. I don't know your last name. I don't even know. I don't know your booty been before me. So I don't want you
It don't
grinding up
matter.
on.
The booty got clothes on.
Nah, saying see, see, I'm because I was that dude that always got dissed by chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you dance with me, I'm feeling kind of special. Like, oh shit, she give me a dance. I'm like, you just go freak off somebody else. That's what you do. This is why this is why I don't go to strip clubs. I don't want to
I
lap
don't.
dance.
Yeah, I don't like strip clubs.
I don't lap dance. You did all that dancing shit for $10. I don't feel special. This don't do nothing
Yeah.
for me.
I'm not trying to spend no money in a strip club. I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
but
The only time if I go to strip club, the only thing I'm spending money on is the food because all strip clubs got dope ass food.
I heard, but I ain't never been to a strip
Real.
club. No, I think I went to a strip club twice in my life. Once when we went for Black's engagement post marriage party, and then I went to Jaguar 3 down in Brooklyn before it was known as Lust. I
I've
went
been to
down
Lust
there.
once. I was there with London. Yeah, I was there before Ralph got married. We went there to chill for his engagement.
Hey, anybody know me? They know I was a dude like I can't put the money in an envelope.
Yo, every day after work, me and Malik, because Malik, worked at a school in the
Yeah,
Bronx at the time. He worked at 165th and 3rd Avenue. Of course, I worked on 161st. So after work, we both would get up, meet each other at Sin City. We get there like right. This is on Fridays before study class. We used to go to Sin City, get there like 6:30, stay there until like 8:30. Eat up all the food. He would get the lap dances, and then we would leave by 9 because 9 o'clock they started charging. That's when all the riffraff would come in, so we'd be gone, and that's when we get to study class. We would get to study class late every Friday because we just went to the strip club.
and just sitting there free eating food.
For real,
Yo,
eating
that's
food.
how to
Food
charge
was
me out.
good. For real, food was good. No cap.
No cap. All right, so that's cool. Just like music was real. So let's get into the hot topic.
Hot topic.
Yes, deadbeat parenting. Ooh,
Wow.
I don't even think this is going to be a one night discussion because
Nah, it can be. It can be.
whatever.
It can be a one night discussion. I mean, but it's
Well, I
deep.
mean, for us, it's going to be a one night discussion. But if things ain't work out by having another female guest to represent for the females. But we gonna we gonna discuss. Try to keep it just and on a fair playing field.
Yeah, cause Toya gonna be like, yo, why y'all always talk about chicks? Why y'all always talk about chicks?
That's because you always calling them bitches, bro.
Nah, I don't call them more bitches. I call them hoes
Yes.
sometimes.
Toy said, "Fuck you."
I know, I saw it.
Yeah, so we gonna discuss deadbeat parents because at the end of the day, like we both face deadbeat parents.
Yeah, so
So,
we
like,
can't be biased to the situation
yeah,
because
we can't be biased. Some of us had deadbeat parents. Some of us are co-parenting with deadbeat parents.
yeah,
So, I mean, some of us know people personally. Like, son, you gotta get your shit together. You're a deadbeat parent. Like,
yeah, yeah.
So where do deadbeat parenting start? Because most of the times when you talk about deadbeat parents, they talk about deadbeat fathers.
Hmm.
And what I'm learning after, like, how we said we was gonna write this book about fathers trying to be in their kids' life, and I'm talking to like various different fathers, and I'm learning that these dudes are not really deadbeat fathers. They're being alienated from their children.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the situation. And
You
some
know,
people are
like,
being alienated. Yeah, I'll wait till you finish, then I'll say
yeah.
what I.
So they're trying to be in their kid's life, or they want to be in their kid's life, but the mother done said or did something where they can't be there all the time like they wanted to. And then they paint the picture like, oh, you're a deadbeat. You just pay child support. You ain't never really there like that. And I'm like, there's a lot of factors that play into that. You know, like not trying to say there's some dudes out there who just ain't shit. Like I mean, I'm be real. Some dudes are just bullshit ass fathers. We know a couple who be like, yo, you just a shitty father, dude. But then there's a lot of brothers out there who's actually decent fathers, and it's just the mothers paint that picture of them as being negative. So I mean, so and the same thing I guess for women too, because you know you get a lot of dudes out there like, oh, she a bitch, she don't do this, she don't do that, whatever, and then you stop and look at the whole picture, like, my man, are you really doing all you can do though? Like, you kind of like force on her hand, like, you know, like I personally know a dude who complains about his baby moms to the top of his lungs. Until one time I actually met his baby moms, and I'm like, wait, hold up, she give you every opportunity and a chance to be a father, and you take every chance to not be there. Like, what's really good? Like, I can't call it. Like, you know,
I
I
mean,
can't.
I see that too. But then again, every situation is different because, like you just said, you met the chick, so she could be a different way with you than she is with him. You know, every situation is different because same thing. I looked at certain relationships, and I look at a couple, and I'm like, wow, like this person just they don't seem as if they would do that. And then lo and behold, whatever the issue is between them, whether it was a good relationship, a bad relationship, somebody cheated, whatever the situation is, that stems off of that person reacting from that prior action or that previous action. So, they may seem perfectly fine to us, but then in that relationship, throughout them closed doors with them kids, it's like, oh, fuck you, blah blah blah, back and forth, whatever it is. Like for like then also you said, where does it stem from? Like I used to think, of course, it was a chain reaction. Like if you had a deadbeat dad, then you will turn out to be a deadbeat dad, and vice versa. But then using myself as an example, my father was never in my life. I knew of him. I knew who he was. He showed up once every 5, 6, 7 years. He poked in. Mind you, he lived right in Brooklyn. He was a cop, so it wasn't like he couldn't see me. He just didn't want to. So growing up, I had hostility towards him because, of course, everybody wants their dad in their life, or every boy wants their dad in their life.
I think every child, period, just
Exactly.
wanna.
Every child wants one of their parents in their life. Whoever the missing parent is, that child always wants that parent in their life. So, like I said, I didn't have that. I mean, I had a great male figures in my life. Your dad is included. Mr. Beckham was included.
My
My,
man Johnny.
my godfather Johnny, who
My man
everyone
Johnny
thought
was
that was my
dope.
father because he pretty much was in my life more than my own father.
I know. I thought that for a while until you
Exactly, but he
explained
was
it to
my
me. I mean,
godfather. My brothers and sisters, he's all of their father, but he wasn't my father. But I've had that in my life, but it was just the actual thought of my dad. I was like, but I'm saying that to say because my biological father was never in my life, that made me want to be much more of a much more better father, if that makes sense, a better father than he was to me. So when I had my child, or my child was conceived and born at when I was 19, I made sure that regardless of what I was doing, I made sure that I was constantly always in her life, to the point where, like you said, deadbeat parents. I took my daughter from her mom when she was 5 years old, and I raised her from 5 years old to 16 years old. Her mom was there, but her mom, I guess you would say, inconsistent, wanting to be her mother because she was still trying to do whatever it is that she wanted to do, figure out her life. I don't know, whatever the situation was. Mind you, we didn't want to have a kid, but well, I didn't want to have a kid because I was 19 years old. Who the fuck wants to have a kid at 19 years old? But I didn't want to have a kid. She wanted to have a kid for whatever her reasons were. I don't know. I think I know what her reasons are, but I can't really say because I don't want to make an assumption. But I kind of figure what her reasons are. But she had a kid for the wrong reasons, and instead of her being a mom, she was more focused and worried about getting the money, her boyfriend at the time, just not being understanding to know that she had a kid that she had to raise. But of course, you can't raise a kid if you don't really have you're not being an adult yourself, I guess. But needless to say, I felt that as a mom, because we all have moms. My mom was a great mom. John, your mom was a great mom. Other people that I knew had great moms. I felt that she wasn't being a mom. She was more worried about everything else than her child. So what I did is I took my child. We went to court. I got joint custody, got joint physical custody. Well, I got joint custody with physical custody, and I raised my daughter because that was my priority. Like I went to school, working two jobs, still traveling vacations. I did everything that I still wanted to do, and my child didn't hinder me. But she didn't want to do the same thing. So you know, I just thought that, I just wanted to be better than what I saw my father do to me. And, yeah. Unmute yourself. You're muted.
Yeah, I had to
Hey,
mute myself because of the train, but
yeah, I got you. Yeah.
like like a lot of brothers like yourself who grew up without fathers who are outstanding fathers now. I really like the first step was actually just being there. Like
Yeah.
that was you already won the half the battle just by being there.
Yeah.
And it's just like because
I
I
just didn't understand I don't understand, period, how certain people just can't be there for their kids. You know, again, nobody, we all have sex. We
yeah we
all
all
have
have sex,
unprotected sex. Situations happen.
but
You gotta
but
figure it
see
out.
now that you said that that's gonna bring apart another that's gonna bring something. Write that down because there's gonna be another topic coming up soon.
Which one?
You know,
Unprotected sex.
no, not protected sex, but all right. Let's say how
I
you
already know
have
what you're about to
sex.
say.
You have sex with somebody, but you don't want the baby, but she does.
So exactly, we can
Like,
talk about that sometime too because there was like that's been going on, like that's been talks and stuff. Because I think I don't know where, but I know they've been talking about that. Like, should the person be liable? Because again, women, if two people have sex, unprotected sex, and the woman gets pregnant, and the so-called man doesn't want to have the baby, but the woman does, the man has no rights. You know, like I said, it could have been whatever, one night stand, it could have been a relationship, whatever the situation was. They get pregnant. That man does not want to have a baby, but that woman is like, okay, well, I want to have a baby, and then they have a baby, and then you know, majority of the women wind up taking that man for child support because he's not in the life and he's not doing nothing. But then again, he didn't want the baby, so he does. It's like men don't have a say so in that situation. So I was reading somewhere where, and I don't know what state it is, but that's the talks of making a law about that, saying that if two people happen to have intercourse, unprotected sex, and that man does not, or that man or that woman, well, most likely it's usually the man sometimes because of course the woman is the one that gets to control what happens to her body. Um, it's gonna be like they were trying to make it probably ain't gonna work because of course it's not, but they were trying to talk about a law saying that that man has a right if he denies that he wants to have that baby, that all legal rights will be taken away from him if she does have the baby. So like later on, she won't be able to, take him to court for child support and stuff like that.
yeah, because I mean, it's a sensitive subject because
Yeah,
some
very
dude.
sensitive.
Yeah, because some dudes are gonna be like, well, at first I might not want to be a father, and then later on try to come back, and it's like, well, you kind
Yeah,
of made like you kind of made your
exactly,
decision.
exactly.
So
It goes both ways.
it go
That
both
that's
ways.
that's deep though.
That's deep. That's something we could discuss later on because there's a whole slew of other questions that go along with it,
Hmm.
just with the whole paternity aspect of it. But that's down a rabbit hole. So
Yeah, I agree with you. Wear a condom.
yeah, so
Sometimes
we're
people
condom. I mean, but still,
being
sometimes a
realistic
condom
here.
breaks. Sometimes some people like it raw. But
Yeah,
the only reason why we say this is because all right, a man don't have a choice if he's going to be a father or not, but the woman does. And I don't even mean with the whole actually go get an abortion. If she decides that she don't want the baby anymore, she can take it to a police station, a fire station, or even leave the baby in the hospital and walk out and be like, "Listen, I don't want to be a mother,"
Mm-hmm.
and nobody will sit there and say, "No, you're legally obligated," you know. So it's
Exactly.
like that's what we're trying to portray. Like, both
And
should have worn.
Toya, with your comment, wear a condom, then how about take the pill? If you're gonna say wear a condom, take the pill. It's both ways.
You know, neither way is 100%. But I mean, we both need to do our part if that's the case. But um, yeah, but like I said, like I was almost.
Oh man, I know you get tight of that, and it's still early, so them trains are still gonna be going through.
That's real, son. We ain't in no studio. We in the houses. This is real. No,
That's
but
true.
like I was almost I can't say I was a victim of a deadbeat parent. I was almost created to be a deadbeat parent. Because remember, when we used to go to New Rochelle,
Mm-hmm.
and the young lady I was dating at the time. Remember at the
Mm-hmm.
time when I had that pregnancy scare.
Mm-hmm.
Now my thing is, how old was I? 20, 20 something. Don't believe you shouldn't be able to be on both sides of the fence. She don't believe I should be. I told you it was gonna be fair. Like we're not here to just knock one person down, but I'm just saying it's real. But remember, the young lady got pregnant. We had a pregnancy scare. Now, yeah, this scared me. It was gonna be my first kid. Like I said, I was working at Starbucks at the time. Or I just started working for the city. Matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing was new to me, and it was scary. The first thing I heard off was, "Oh, I'll just move to Virginia and my grandmother helped me raise the baby." Whoa! I never said I wasn't gonna help you raise the baby, but you gotta understand this is a life changing thing for me. Like I have the right to be like, "Yo, this is my new life." Like I was ripping and running, partying and drinking. Now I have to get in the mindset like there's a baby about to be born that I'm responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
But your first thought was, "Oh, I'll leave and go to Virginia with my grandmother." So you're already setting up that lifestyle where there won't be a father in that baby's life. So you're already creating that whole, "Oh, I don't need a man. My child won't need a father," or what? Or you're gonna sit there and try to go, unless you will move on and find a new man, and that's gonna be the. But if the real father is here, let him get a chance. You already try to remove me out the household before you even give me a chance to see what I can do,
Mm-hmm. I
And I
think
know
you know.
that happens with a lot of dudes, especially if it's their first kid. They don't know how to react to it. They're like, "Damn, I'm having a baby." Fuck, they start freaking out. And the next year, "Oh, don't worry about me and my family got this." Ain't my fault you and your family used to do bouncing. I have emotions. Let me work this out, okay? Like,
I started
it's
freaking
just,
out when I found out that this girl was pregnant. I was bugging out because I felt my life was over. I was
and
19. I didn't want to have no fucking kid. Like,
especially if
fuck
you have a
that.
baby with a lady you don't even love a lot.
Exactly. And
like, I
yeah,
could see if me and you was like together, but
that's different.
like,
But yeah,
but
this
we
yeah.
wasn't like that. We was just doing what we were doing. We was young, and oh shit, this happened.
Yeah, I didn't want that. I didn't want it. I bugged out. I thought my life was over. I literally did. I fucking cried so much. I was like, yo, I don't need this. But then I thought about it and I was like, okay, I just gotta do what the fuck I gotta do. That's
That's
it.
it.
I can't I did it, so I can't I gotta do it. I gotta step up and I stepped the fuck up. I did more than I'm not gonna say more than most dads, but I did a lot. It
I
wasn't
mean, look,
expected.
you could honestly, where we came from,
Yeah.
you did more than most dads.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
to be honest, you're like the only dad I know that had not just his child, but his daughter from a young age into the teenage years. So you did do more than most dads.
Yeah,
Because, like, even me growing up in my household, it was still a 50-50 thing because my mom's and my pops was there. You had Ariel majority of the time.
shit.
And
Yep.
that's real. So that's not something. And I mean, my thing is, I'm starting to get a glimpse of what you've been through.
Yeah,
because Juice been here for like the last 3 4 months,
yeah,
and honestly, it don't look like he's going home anytime soon.
yeah. Well, that's
Or
good.
which is cool, but I'm not beefing. But I get what you went through on the daily,
Yeah, but
and
but the difference is that now you're older. You're
yeah,
going through it at an older age. You're in your 40s. I did that shit at 19. So I wish I could have did that in my 40s because I would have known more, seeing everybody go through what they went through, so I know what to do. Me at
well,
19, I mean, I had my mom, so I'm not gonna say I never had my mom. She was a good
yeah,
support system. Like she was always there. Like if I needed a breather, she'd be like, all right, let's put her to bed, and then get her go out. I went to work every day, so it wasn't like I was bullshitting. I brought money home. I took care of my kid. It was just overwhelming because I was 19 years old when I
you're
had her,
right.
and then not
I
even
did.
19. Like when I got my own apartment and she moved in me, it was like just shit. I was it was just it was crazy.
It was crazy. Like
It was
I
it was
can I
very
can
overwhelming for a 20-something year old to have a kid at home and just him and the kid. Like that shit was overwhelming. Like, but I made do. I did what I had to do.
like I said, it wasn't something that you see a lot of men.
Yeah,
Like you see a lot of women have their babies and the babies at home with them and all that, but you don't see a lot of men.
yeah,
So that's why I can sit there and say, yeah, for most of the dudes I know, that was one of the first times I seen a dude have the baby majority of the time doing what he got to do.
yeah.
And like you said, yeah, I'm older, so I was able to watch you and Candace and all y'all have y'all babies, and I was able to pick up stuff and learn
Hmm.
from what y'all did. So when Juice came around, I got a better idea of how to tackle certain situations and not have no clue what's going on.
Yeah,
So I'm learning from somebody who's from my era. Cause yeah, I could have went to my mom's and my pops or whatever. Well, not my pops. He was gone when Juice came around, but I could have went to my mom's. But at the same time, my mom's remember raising me in the era that that's gone.
yeah. Which was a little bit
Yeah,
easier.
yeah, which was a little bit
Times was
easier.
easier. You could back then you could leave your child with somebody. Like you can go to work and leave your child with somebody and not have to worry about somebody abusing your kid.
Because
Now,
back then we
yeah,
lost that whole "it takes a village."
exactly.
Nowadays, you don't have the village no more.
Exactly, because like Miss Josephine from 177, like my moms would go somewhere. As long as Josephine was outside and she could see me across the street in front of the building, I was good. Or as long as your mom's looked out the window and she saw us in front of the building, we
It
was
was all
good.
right
Now you literally got to stand outside and be
with
right
your
next to
kid.
your kid because the way shit is. And not even that. Like we could be chilling. My mom's would be upstairs. As long as I'm on the block, she would call my aunt who lived in 233, or she would call some people's that was in 224. They would look out their building window and they see Dwight. Okay, they good. Dwight's good. As long as we see him when we looking out the window, we good. Now, nah, couldn't do that shit now. It's too wild out there. Niggas snatching kids and just doing real fucking weird shit out there. Yeah, it's
And then
crazy.
I don't. Yeah, it's just crazy. Well, look, I mean, I know this is what we do. We always go off topic, right?
Yeah,
But today, me and Juice was coming in the building, and I'm trying to teach him about time. So I'm letting it go. Like, all right, you do your homework. You have your free time. Because he's like, if I do my homework at 7 o'clock, yeah, I'm like, yeah, you should be done by 7:30, and you have free time. He said, yeah, I should get like 2 hours. I'm like, whoa, what you mean by 2 hours? I said, when's your bedtime? He said 8:30. I said, so 7:30 to 8:30, it's not 2 hours. He's like, oh. And then there was another parent standing there like, see, that's what I'm talking about. 8:30 is a good bedtime. She be trying to go to bed like at 11, and I'm sitting there looking at this little girl, like she like 9. I'm like, why are you letting her go to bed at 11? Like I
yeah,
want to sit there and say, why are you
exactly.
letting her go to bed at 11?
Exactly.
Just shut her down. Like, yo, your bedtime is this time.
Turn the TV off, turn the fucking phone off, the
You
tablet, all that
know,
shit. Mm-mm.
just shut it down. Like, yo, this is your bedtime. Like, I had a bedtime at 8 o'clock. I didn't watch primetime TV until I had like high school.
Now my bedtime was 9 o'clock. My mom's was, but still,
Shit, I used to have to ask, can I stay up to 8:30? Can I stay up to 9?
yeah, no, my
And I think when
bedtime
I
was
finally hit high school, my bedtime was like 10 o'clock.
yeah,
You know, and I think my curfew was like a little different, but so that's what it is.
I
But
remember you said curfew. That shit made me laugh. I remember the time. My curfew was at midnight. We was all chilling in front of the building. My mother and Joe, her husband, came downstairs. My mother had her robe on. She was like, "Nigga, what the fuck?" I was like, "But I'm in front of the building." She was like, "Nigga, you supposed to be in the house at 12 o'clock. Get the fuck up."
Bro, you ain't saying shit. Same thing happened to me. My mom came outside with the house coat on.
Yup.
I'm like, shit.
Like, get your ass upstairs. What the fuck
Your
you
ass
doing
upstairs.
upstairs? I'm
I'm
like,
like,
"What is
yo,
that?"
but
I'm in front
I'm
of the
like,
building.
get your ass. I'm like, oh man.
Mind you, I didn't go to school because I was cutting school every day anyway. But still, I'm like,
I went to school. Yeah. Oh
nah,
yeah. You know,
you
that
cut.
was y'all. I used to leave y'all in the morning. Like, yeah, I'm going to
Yo,
school.
did you hear what happened that time though? What? Yo, so after we finished cutting, I used to get mad cutting cards. So finally, my mom was like, "Look, you fucking cut school, I'm gonna fuck you up, blah blah blah." Cool. So I was like, "All right, you know what? I'm gonna start going to school." Went to school. First day going back to school, and I was going to intend on staying in school the whole day. Get to school, I'm like, "Yeah, all right, hey, what's good?" Talking to people that I knew at school. So, like third period, I get a call off the loudspeaker. Dwight Howard report to the dean's office. I'm like, "What the fuck? I didn't do nothing. Like, I'm here. I'm good." So I get into the dean's office. White guy, Mr. Cantor, mad cool as shit. I still remember his name. He's like, "Yo, Dwight, sit down." I'm like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I ain't do nothing." He was like, "No, sit down." I was like, "Oh, okay, what happened?" He was like, "Yo, I just got the phone call that your sister got in a car accident. She's in the hospital." I'm like, "Oh shit, word?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh man." I was like, "All right, let me call my mom's. Let me call my mom's." So I'm trying to call my mother, call my mom's job. She's not answering the phone. So I'm bugging out. I'm like, "This shit, I guess my mother might be at the hospital. My sister." So I'm bugging out. I'm bugging out. He's like, "Yo, go ahead, go leave." Mind you, it's third period. Third period was like 10:30 or something like that. He's like, "Oh, go ahead, go home." So I'm like, "Fuck." So I'm on a bus, like bugging out. I'm like, "I hope she's all right. I hope she ain't dying." Blah blah blah. I'm bugging out. Had to take two buses: the 48 to Flushing, and then the 61 to the hood. No, the 57 to the hood. Whatever, one of those. Whichever.
One of
57.
those.
That was running on Flushing at the time. 57. So I'm like, "Oh shit. Oh man. I hope everything's fine. I hope everything's fine." Like I'm bugging out. I'm panicking right now. I'm going through. I'm panicking. So I go upstairs. Go upstairs. I put my key in the door. My mother's not there. So I'm like, shit, I dropped my book bag. I'm panicking. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I come back outside. I'm just standing in front. So I look across the street, the 61 in front of 177. I see Candace banging on the window, And she's like, "Dwight, come here, come here, come here." So I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm waiting for my mom." She just waving like, "Come here, come here, come here." So I get on the bus. Candace, Tanisha, Black, Jay, all on the bus. They like,
Don't
"Yo,
tell me
what's
they
good?" It
closed.
was like, "What's good?" I was like, "Nah, I gotta try to find my mom. I was trying to find my mom. My sister got hit by a car." They was like, "No, she didn't." I was like, "Nah, she did." He was like, "No, she didn't." I'm like, "What you mean, no, she didn't?" She's like, "We called the school." I was like, "How the fuck y'all niggas call the school to get me?" They was like, "Nah, you wasn't gonna go stay in school all day." I was like, "Yo, y'all niggas is mad grimy."
Let's see.
I said,
This is
lucky.
why I went to school. See.
I said, "You lucky that my mom's never answered the phone because if she would have found that shit out and it would have been a lie, all of us would have got our ass beat. We all would have went to somebody's house and each other's mind. Candace's grandmother was no joke.
Yo,
We
mama
all
used
would
to
have
do
went to
that.
somebody's house and we would have got our ass beat. I was like, "Yo, these people," I was like, "These niggas is trash." I was trying to
Yo,
be
that's
good,
crazy.
go to school, and then after that event, I didn't go back to school for like months. I was cutting school every day still. Uh,
See, look, what the first thing they tell these people when they get out of rehab? Don't hang out with the same crew. You went right back to the same crew.
went back to the same day. I couldn't help it. I mean, I was trying to go. I was trying to do good.
At least when I went to school, I went. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how I failed everything, but I went.
I used to cut school so much. We used to cut school in Brooklyn Tech. Me, Brian, Mario, Dave, and Black. We used to go to Brooklyn and the J. We used to go cut school at Brooklyn Tech so much where they thought that we were students there.
How the hell did? You know what? I don't even want to know
Because
how
we
they
would be in
let
the
some.
lunchroom the whole time. Like we would be in the lunchroom playing spades, so they thought that we were students there. Because we used to cut school from our school to go to another school and hang out.
That's what y'all used to do. You used to go to Rasmus. You used to go to Tech. I'm like,
That was
what?
crazy. It was nuts, bro. We used to go on the door. Security guards like, "Yo, what's up, Dwight?" We like, "Yo, what's up?" Sitting in the lunchroom playing spades. Like, yeah,
I'm glad that wasn't me, yo.
it was
Nah,
crazy.
nah.
Because the only person that went to that school was Dave. No, Dave and Brian went to that school. No, just Dave. Only Dave went to Brooklyn Tech. So we all used to cut school to go to school and hang out with Dave in the lunchroom. Crazy.
That's y'all bugging. I don't get how y'all do that.
That shit was fun back in the day.
I couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know who I was scared of more, my mom or my pops, because I was a cat school, B.
Yeah, that was
Cause
tough, dude.
can't even do it.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, with the deadbeat thing, I don't know. I just, like I said, I always used to sit and wonder, not really wonder, but I used to be in awe and a little bit envious of those that had their dads, because it's like I never knew how that shit felt. Like,
Like,
that
hold
shit
up.
used to suck.
Hold me down. I'm gonna go pay the water bill.
Yeah, cool. Like I used to always be in awe about like my dad. Like, I played baseball growing up, and then I used to get bullied when I was a kid. I used to bring that shit on mute. You gotta listen to Grand Central Station while I'm taking paying the water bill. But I used to sit. When I was younger, I wasn't really bullied, but I was picked on because, like I said, of my glasses or whatever, and me being a smart guy. And I used to never have. I used to always want that protection. I used to always want that, that father figure to be there, like the Dwight is gonna be okay, or to show me how to fight, or to show me, and talk to me about women and stuff like that. And I felt like I was gypped. I never had that. Like I had to just look at my brothers and see what they were going through, or see how they were doing in their relationships. And it was cool, I guess, but I didn't get to see much of it, so it was just I just felt gypped. Like I always wanted that. You know how when you watch like Cosby Show and Wonder Years and all those other movie or
This nigga
TV
said the
shows that
Wonder
had,
Years.
yeah, all those other TV shows that had
What would you
dads and shit.
do? I
I used to sit there
said,
like, yo, why wasn't my dad here? Like I used to really feel some kind of way about that. Like, yo, what the
yeah,
fuck did
what
I
else?
do?
Like, I want Uncle Phil.
Even Uncle Phil. I mean, but that was his uncle. But I used to sit there and I was like, yo, what did
Yeah,
I do to
like,
not
yeah.
want my dad to be there, or my dad not to want to be there? Then as I got older, I was like, okay, so what type of relationship did my mother and my father have for him to not just want to be there? Then I used to think, okay, what did my mother do, or what did she say for him to not want to be there? Then I used to think, okay, why is he such an asshole that he just didn't want to be with my mom's? It was like all these scenarios
There's
just
a
used to
lot of
pop up.
scenarios, but at
And
the end of the day, I
my
mean, all we can
freshman
sit
year
there
in
and say,
college, I wrote him a 4-page letter. Aaliyah came out with a 4-page letter, but I wrote my dad my father. I can't say really dad, but I wrote my father a 4-page letter asking him like, "Yo, what's good? Like, why the fuck you ain't never been here? Like, where were you? Why is it that you only came around once in a blue moon? You was a cop, so it wasn't like you couldn't come. Like you patrol and take time off to come. My aunt lives right down the block. My aunt, she was my great aunt. She was my grandmother's sister. She was my great aunt, but she was my father's aunt. So he would always come to the hood to check on my aunt. She
but
lived
never
right
stop
down
up
the
the
block.
block. Yeah, but
Right down the
never
block,
come.
233.
Right?
So you coming down here to see her once a week, twice a week. I live right up the block. Why couldn't you come see me? But he would come around once every 5, 6 years, come to my mom's house, thinking that he gonna get some ass. He would come sit in the living room. Or no, he'd sit in the kitchen. My mom's like, "Oh, your father here." I'm like, "Okay, I'm hyped." And he, speaking a whole bunch of, "Oh, I miss you, blah blah blah. I'm gonna take you. I'm going down south. I'm gonna take you with me." So the first few times I used to be hyped. I used to that Friday. He was like, "Yeah, I'm coming to get you that Friday." That Friday I used to be hyped.
They
Come
never
home from
showed up.
school, pack my little bag, be up, sitting there in the kitchen, in the living room waiting. Nigga never show up. Wouldn't even answer his phone. He did that shit to me 3 times. The third time, I said, "Fuck this guy. Like, he's trash." The second time he came with his motorcycle, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let you ride. I'm gonna put you on a motorcycle with me. I'm hyped. Yeah, I'm about to ride a motorcycle." Never came. But it was just a whole. It was a big letdown. Like that taught me in my life how to. It taught me how to handle being let down, whether it's by a female, whether it's by a friend, whether it's at work, whatever situation it was, me being let down all the time from my father prepped me to be let down as an adult.
And I think that's what people don't understand about, the few of us who have, who experience the whole having a deadbeat parent, or if you if you are a deadbeat parent. I'm not trying to say you would consider yourself one, but I'm pretty sure somebody who cared about you have told you you had to step your game up.
Mm.
What you do with your child, it affects them, and people don't get it. Like it affects them more than you think. So you be like, nah, they're gonna be alright. They're gonna be alright. They're not alright.
They're not.
You know, one of the people in the world that they want to be the closest to
Exactly.
are saying, I don't want to be close to you, or
Exactly.
like me gonna work my job is more important to you.
And then with that being said, like right now, personally, I feel some kind of way because I love my kids. I love being around my kids and I always want to be around them. So, I've said it in previous episodes before. My youngest daughter, who just turned 7 last month, her mom moved to Albany. Didn't discuss it with me. She just wanted to do what she wanted to do for herself. When you have a kid, this is for everybody who has children out there. When you have a child who both parents are involved in that child, I think respectfully, regardless if y'all get along or not, I think respectfully both parents should talk about what's going to happen with the kid. I get it. You want to do your own thing. You have your own rules. You don't want to sit and be susceptible to the other parents saying, no, you can't do this and no, you can't do that. But when you have a child involved, every decision that's being made should be talked about in concerns and in reference to that child. So, like I said, with the whole, parenting thing, I feel a way because I'm very close with my kids, but I feel that now that my daughter's in Albany, I'm not able to see her as much as I want to. So when I speak to her on the phone every day or every other day, she's like, Dad, you coming to get me this weekend? Dad, you coming to get me this weekend? And depending on my situation, is like, no, I can't. Now, prior to that, I would get her every weekend, every other weekend. Now it's been like once a month, once every month and a half, once every 2 months. And it hurts because to me telling her no all the time brings me back to the letdown feeling that I had when I was a kid. Now, I don't know if she's still think I don't know if she's thinking the way that I think now. Of course she's not because I'm an adult and she's a child, but it makes me think like, okay, by me telling her no, I'm not coming to get you this weekend. I can't hear you. You still muted.
Yeah, she might not be thinking about it the way you think about it, but she might have her own feelings about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it hurts me because it's like I don't want to let her down because I know how that let down feeling is. Like I've been let down on my father before. And she's like every time I speak to her, then now that we got a dog, because I got a dog for her. So
And
now that we
she's
got a
not close
dog,
enough to see the
she,
dog, right?
she
Yeah.
hasn't seen the dog yet. I've had the dog only for a few days though. Like I've
But
had not
still,
even.
I know what you mean. It's like,
But it's like, okay, she's like, Dad, I want to come and see the dog. And it's like, okay, like this weekend coming up, I can't get her because I'm working the whole weekend. So it's like, and then prior to that, last weekend, I couldn't go because it was issues with my car, so I couldn't go up there. So it's like, okay, and then her mom is not trying to bring her to me because that's just what she wants to do.
yeah,
She wants to be
yeah,
there,
that's just the life
you
she
know.
living. Like, you want to
So
see your
like,
daughter, come get her.
ex- ex- it pretty much is that. Like,
Instead of saying, okay, at least, if you can't do both trips, let me at least drop her off or pick her up.
that will never happen. Even when she
Yeah,
lived in Middletown, that shit never happened. Now that she
you never
lives in
have it.
Oak,
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, granted, I was happy Brooklyn and Harlem wasn't too far, wasn't that far, but I was responsible for picking them up and dropping them off.
yeah.
And it was just like, okay, it was tiring because my thing is I'm going to Brooklyn, bringing her home, and then I got to go back to Brooklyn,
Hmm.
and that's why after a while it was just like, listen, I'm going to start taking them to school Monday morning because bringing them back on a Sunday and doing that boomerang
Hmm.
was annoying. So let them stay the one more night. I'll take them to school in the morning. And then when it first started happening, I was luckily working on 125th, so it was like I'm already in
It
Harlem.
was
Drop,
easier.
yeah,
Yeah,
to drop them
that's
off
how it was for
downtown.
me. Like when they lived in Middletown, I would pick her up from work on a Friday, or when I was doing when I had my 4 days a week, I pick her up to work Thursday. She would stay with me all the way till Monday because then I had to go to work on Monday, and I worked in Rockland. Orange County in Rockland was 30 minutes away, so I would keep her until Monday morning, get up early enough to take her to school, and then go to work because it was right there that way. But now that shit is impossible because she's 2.5 hours away from me now. as opposed to an hour away from me before. So it's just like
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
It's a
It's
lot.
like, I get it. We're not together, but we got this kid together, and we're not together, and every 2 weeks you get child support. So it's not. I mean, I'm not saying anything about the child support, but I'm a dad who takes care of his kid, not just financially, because even if he is taking child support, I still do more financially, uh, in addition to the child support, and physically and emotionally. So it's like I should also have a say so, not just because you're the mom, but I should have a say so because I'm the dad and I'm in her life. Like I
And
had an argument with her before because it was shit that was going on in school. So I balked on her. I was like, first of all, I said I'm just not no ordinary deadbeat ass dad like your son's father was. I said I'm present in her life. So anything that goes on in her life, you have to tell me. No, not that you can tell me if you want to.
you have
You
to.
have to tell me because when she's at my house, anything goes on in my house, I tell you out of respect for you because you're her mother. So it just hurts. Toya said, "Stupid question for birthmark. Does that mean you don't want to be sister? What? I can rephrase your question, Toya.
Now, does that mean you don't want to see what? Huh? Does that mean that you don't want to see your daughter when you can?
No, I do
So,
want to see her when I can.
the hell is this?
Damn, you went to the bathroom. You came back with something on your shit. What's wrong with you?
No, something was inside the little heart piece. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Toya, I'm looking to see. Oh, wait, what was it? Do I want?
No, she said,
Rephrase
oh,
it.
because you have limited time now. Do that mean that you still don't want to see her? Like, you still want to
No,
see
of
her?
course I want to see
Yeah.
my kid. I'm not saying I would never not want to see my kid. It's just harder to see her, and I know that she wants to be with me more. Because even when the last time I took her home, I was like, Daddy won't see you in a couple of weeks. She's like, why, Dad? You could drive here. So she doesn't understand the fact that it's fucking 2 hours and a half for me to drive to her, pick her up, 2.5 hours to drive back home. She doesn't stand because she's a kid and she thinks that it's easy for me to do that. She doesn't understand that it's tiring, especially if I fucking had to get up early to go to work. I'm the one that's driving. I got to get back up to drive back, to take her back home. I can do it, yes, but physically on me, it's draining. Put your put your thing on easy.
Okay. All this
Welcome.
typing ain't working out for my black ass right now.
Yeah,
And I'm being
I'm glad you
crazy.
figured that out.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Toya, what was you saying?
Anyway,
Welcome, Toya. That's what we are gonna say first.
what I'm, s- I hear what you're saying, but then in the back of my mind, I'm also hearing like hesitation, a slight regret, and all
But
these,
what?
I said, 1 second, sir,
Yeah.
that is so stupid. And because every time you speak about both your children, you're highly happy about them. You're just happy go lucky to have them in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why when I was hearing the slight negativity while I was cutting paper, I was like, no, I gotta wait, ask this question real quick.
But
Um,
I don't understand though. What was the slight negativity? That's what I want to. That's what I'm
no,
trying to
when you
figure out.
were like, when you're telling her each time you can't come see her because reason, daddy
Yeah.
working 2 jobs to buy you the pony you want, the dog you want, whatever your reason is, when you tell her, no, I can't come see you this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets disappointed, it flashes you back
Of
to
course it
when,
does. Yes, you're
right,
right.
but when Dumbo was not coming to see you. So I was just wondering, wait, does that mean you want to leave her life altogether? Like,
Oh,
what
never.
exactly? Okay. Because again, my mind is, I haven't been sleeping. So I am totally off. And I was just wondering, is that what I'm hearing?
Oh no, never. I would never want to leave my child's life. I was just saying. I was just posing the example of I hate the fact that I feel as if I'm letting her down because I know how that feels. Like when I say, when she says, "Daddy, I want to come to your house," because she tells me that every weekend. And when Friday comes, like I said, I speak to her throughout the week, and when Friday comes, she's like, "All right, Dad, you coming to get me this weekend?" And I'm like, "No, I can't because of whatever the situation was." Like I said, last week was my car. So if I don't have a car, how the fuck I'm coming to get you? You know, that's one thing. This weekend, I'm working the entire weekend because, of course, I have to have money to support her. You know, so it's hard. It's just like it, it just makes it seem as if I'm letting her down, and then it also makes it seem as if, because like you said, her mom has a car. If she wants to come to me, her mom could bring her to me, but her mother's not going to do that because she just don't want to do that. So because I know her mom, I start to think and say, okay, is she doing this on purpose to make it seem as if daddy doesn't have time for you, or daddy, like Evie said, daddy has to work, so his job is more important, or daddy's not going to
Well,
come get you because his car is. And I'm thinking as an adult of what I think a child would think, even though I mean, I'm not a child anymore, so I can't think of how she's thinking. But I'm thinking as an adult, like, okay, daddy's always coming up with these excuses saying that he can't come get me this weekend. So now she's gonna start feeling a kind of way. Mom is gonna look better because now mom is home with her every weekend. Mom is taking her to do things. So it's like, okay, mommy has the time to do all of this shit, but daddy can't come pick me up. Daddy can't come, not knowing that daddy is struggling and daddy's trying to do what he can do so that he can eventually come get you. You understand that? You get what I'm saying now, Toya?
no, I got it, but it was just off
Okay.
from what you usually said. Where he went?
No, he's reaching for something.
Oh,
I'm right here. I'm putting the plug in my laptop.
okay. No, it was off a little bit. That's why I was like, wait, what? And it's also hard to type in this. It's not paragraph. You're seeing lines, So I can't even proofread, and I don't proofread. Let's not lie to each other.
Oh, okay.
So
And you're a
shut up.
teacher, right?
No, motherfucker.
Yeah.
He said you're a teacher,
But
right?
yeah, that's just it. It's just
So
sometimes I feel, you know, like I said, I'm always gonna be in her life. Like that's never gonna stop. I'm never gonna leave my
I
kid
mean, you just
because
have an idea of what kind of father you wanted to be or you was going to be, and
or I
now that
was, yeah.
oh
It's
you
just
was, and because she moved further away, it's like I'm
well,
yeah, I'm now
I,
forced into this life where okay, I don't get to spend as much time as I used to, and it's not fault, no fault of the child. I mean, we don't want to fault the mom for moving away, but this is something that I'm pretty sure the mother knew or thought about when you moved. You knew I was going to see my child less.
yeah. And her words were, "Oh, everything is gonna work out." Yeah, but work out in whose favor? You, because
Yeah,
you're
because
gonna
you're
look
the one
like
moving. You get the
exactly.
house. She gets to live with you. I'm now sitting there like, when do I get to see my baby?
Exactly. And I can't say no to working at my second job because how the fuck I'm support myself? How I'm gonna maintain my car to come get you? How I'm gonna do all of this? I'm not trying to bitch and moan about it because that's a part of life.
No, no. I mean, I don't look at it like that. I look at you when you're expressing something real. This is part of training.
No, you good, you good. And
Okay, so
it's just the point of where where the whole where the whole deadbeat comes in because some people they may consider like in looking at the story without knowing who I am. Because Toya, you already know who I am because we've had conversations already. But looking at the situation, other people may be like, "Oh, this nigga making excuses. He always saying this, or he said, his kid blah blah blah, his kid blah blah blah."
well, yeah, because
And that's where the whole deadbeat situation comes in.
one of one of the illest things I ever heard when it came to parenting, especially when it comes to a father. Oh, oh, you should have fought harder to be in your kid's life.
Yes, yes,
But then
yes.
nobody asks the woman, why does he have to fight so hard to be in his kid's life? Like, if you got a man willing to say, I want to be a father,
Yes.
give him that space and opportunity to be a father. Why are you telling he should have fought harder? What? Like, I'm
So yeah,
here
this is
saying I want to be a dad. I'm trying to be a dad. And then you just creating a situation where I have obstacles. I'm not trying to sit there and say I understand why. I'm not trying to say I support them brothers who just like it is what it is. I'm gonna live my life. But I can see where they get their mentality from. Like, I'm not gonna keep emotionally abusing myself trying to get closer to my child, and you keep pulling my child further from me.
Toya, how
At
you
what
feel about
point?
that?
Um, thank you. Um, so I have one child, obviously, and I fought for him. We went to court, and I wanted custody. And all John wanted was if he have an operation, I would have to reach out for him. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I have no intentions of reaching out to that man.
Why?
Um,
Is that for
my
personal
thing
reasons?
is that, well, I was gonna get there. So you see how I was pregnant with Gerald. It was May 2008. And Gerald is the third child for Mr. John. And he would have the second child. He lived like, I think on the fifth floor. I don't remember. I tried to, block that out. And his second child was looking out the window, watching daddy, doing whatever daddy was doing. And he would always tell the baby, I'll be right back. Right back meant 2, 3, 5, 10 hours. And that child would not move unless he had to use the bathroom or whatever the case may be. And I swore to myself that I would never, like, I would kill you first before I allow my child to, because that to me is psychological damage. You know what I'm saying? Like, daddy is literally outside shooting dice. Daddy's literally outside getting drunk. Daddy's literally outside fill in the blank, opposed to being upstairs with me. So for me, I do believe that some men should fight harder. And when I met Mr. Ease, I did believe, and I believe I said it to you, that you should fight harder for your son. Because yes, you're seeing your side in the of, okay, well, I'm trying to be in his life and I'm trying to make things easier. You understand? But how I interpret, or my perception of it was easier for you. Not in a way, bad way, but in a way like, okay, well, chick is fire and you don't always want the fire. You know what I mean? So it's best for me to like lay back a little and watch the ride or whatever the case is. No, I took that motherfucker to court and I would do it again. You understand? I don't feel like you should go out there and um do violence, but I do believe you fight for what you want, and that's me. I am a fighter. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. If I want something, I go after it. And I wanted my son, and I got custody now. What year is it? 12 years. My
Okay.
son's been mine
But I have a question to
12
ask.
years.
This is just asking a question. It's not what I'm thinking. It's just a question. So,
Oh no, please tell me what you're thinking, my love.
when fighting for your son, did you think about how the outcome would be, and not even let me see. Did you think about how your son would feel about the whole situation, or how you felt about the situation?
So, in fighting for my son, I realized the person I was in 2010 was not the person I was in 2008. So, if I was the person in 2010, John and I wouldn't have even fucked each other. And I do feel like sometimes you're at a mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever you want to call it, level that is so low that anything goes. And because he's literally the man who inserted his penis inside of me, does not mean that he's the best person for my child.
But
You know?
again, is
Go
that
ahead.
you thinking for your son, or is that you thinking for yourself?
This is me thinking for my son.
Well, okay. All right. So I
And
got a
and
couple questions. All
and,
right,
and the
fine.
adult. Well, how old is Gerald now?
He's 13?
13. Does he see his dad?
No.
Has he asked about his dad?
Yeah.
What have you told him? Have you told him your side of the story, or have you let him realize it himself?
I the story I told Gerald is you know your mother's mouth. I'm not gonna sit here and bash his father. My son says some slick shit because he's mine, and I'm like, whatever happened between him and I have nothing to do with you. It's none of your business. It just is what it is. It is an open,
But do
shut
you but do
case.
you allow him if he wants to find out who his dad is or talk to his dad? Do you allow him to talk to him?
Can I wait till he 18?
I
That's
mean, what
my
if he's?
point.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's
can, but
that's
what if he sits there and say now at 13 or 14, I really want to speak to my dad?
so I'm only saying that again to say if you're like your comment to can you wait till he's 18? That's you not you're thinking you're you're thinking more on a what's the word I'm looking for? I get your reasoning for it, so don't think that I don't. But because he's reaching out, that's kind of me being a boy, that me being a man that used to be a boy that understands that situation. Now I'm starting to think like, or maybe he's starting to think like, why is mommy not letting me see dad, or why is mommy keeping dad away from me? So now that makes you look like the enemy, as opposed to letting him find out that his dad ain't shit himself. You
I
understand what
don't
I'm saying?
feel like, and I could be wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that
Well, I mean, these are your feelings, so there's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
about
This
how you
okay,
feel.
of
Yeah,
course.
there's
no,
nothing
no, no.
wrong about how you
When I
feel.
say I could be wrong, because I'm like, well, maybe it could end up in this way. It's all
Yeah,
a
yeah.
maybe
You're
type of
thinking of the
thing.
worst because of what
Yeah.
happened prior. I understand.
Right.
That's totally understandable.
So
That's the motherly instinct in you. You're trying to protect your son.
that's it. You know?
Okay.
But
So I'm just saying, like, the situation is Gerald's an experiment, in my opinion, in nature or nurture. And his father had some tendencies. You know what I mean?
okay,
And his father had the same tendencies.
I got you.
And
All right.
But
Well, before
my
you continue
question,
on, I'm slow as fuck. So somebody put that in the chat exactly what the hell is going on.
yeah, I'm
Continue.
not putting that in the chat. I'm
okay,
saying what I'm saying for a
regardless of
reason.
what those tendencies are,
Have a tendency to
do
happen.
you feel that he would act on those tendencies with your child?
Oh, I could text you the tendencies. I'm just not saying it on
No, no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm slow
this
as fuck.
forum.
That's what I'm saying.
No, no,
Somebody.
no. I got that. But
You said he has other
Birfmark,
children,
I
right?
will text you. Huh?
You said he has other children.
Yes.
So has he shown those tendencies to his other
Yes.
children
Okay.
in a negative way or in a positive way, or it's just been
How
shown?
is that a positive way? How can I
See,
mean
I can't
Because
comment.
you can have tendencies and your kids just know that those are your tendencies, and you've acted it out on other people, not your children.
right, but do you believe that what you see is what you become sometimes?
It
Because that's what
depends.
you're exposed to?
No, not necessarily. Let me tell you
Okay.
why. And I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'm not. I mean, I'm not throwing nothing out there that nobody doesn't know, because people who know me know my family. I have three gay brothers. I grew up.
Tendencies. Okay, I get it now.
I grew up around my three gay brothers. I am not gay.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Look, I just took the LBGTQ training at my job, man. Listen, my head hurt.
So it's not about, I do understand what you're saying. All that showed me being around three gay brothers, that showed me how to point someone out gay, or that has those tendencies. Like if I
Okay.
see, like I can see people in the street and I'll have a conversation with them, and then I can instantly tell, because like I said, being around my brothers and hearing them talk and interact and stuff, I can tell that. So that taught me how to dress. You know, I know how to decorate. I know how to certain things. So I'm metroset. But so I understand what you're saying, but I don't think being around it makes you be that way. That's just I know men who've been around nothing
Sir,
but yeah.
I text you.
You text me?
No, she's still on me.
Oh,
No, I'm talking about the white.
oh,
Oh, okay. She texted you, Dwight. I'm the one who asked about.
I got you. I got you, Toy. I know
And
men.
I would be damned. I would be damned. So we're gonna do this fucking experiment,
No, I
and
get
if
you.
he turns out to be a Guyanese, then he be Guyanese and get the fuck out. But
I
You
still
said
don't.
it. My
I
phone. My phone just said I did not understand that. I mean, my watch. My watch said I did not understand that.
no, but did you get what I'm saying? If he
No, I get
turns
you.
out to be that way, so be it.
But
But
you gotta
I'm not
understand also.
exposing that.
But I get is but you have this is what you have to do. You have to trust that you raised your son to be a certain way, and you have to
Yeah, give me like
hold on.
3 more years.
But then again, that can cause a little bit of harm. You have to let so again, being a dad and being a boy. I mean, a man that used to be a boy. I get what you're saying because you're a mother and you're protecting your kid. I totally agree with you, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. But here's the flip side on it. He is at an age now where he's thriving for that male figure. He's thriving for that father. So he has to make the judgments on his own. You can't decide for him because what's going to happen is as he gets older, as he gets older, as he gets older, by you not allowing it, he's going to start hiding it from you and he's going to start searching out for it himself.
Well, if he's listening to the call, his father's social security number is in Harry
Oh,
Potter.
Is in Harry
Okay.
Potter.
Yes, that's where I wrote down all the information. Because my son likes to eavesdrop. So if he wants to do him, go. Here's how I can help you.
But
oh,
I
okay.
get what you're saying too, but you can't put your feelings. He has to figure it out on his own because what
Sure, it's feelings.
it is feeling. Not saying that you like him or anything. I'm saying you have strong feelings against not wanting him to know his father.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm still in the loop here, but even if his father has tendencies,
Mm.
that's part of his fault. That's part of who his father is.
Yeah, and
Not saying it's
sometimes you
right
know
or
what?
wrong.
Not trying to
Not
say
saying
you're wrong. So you do have an issue with him getting to know his father because if that's part of who his father is, if that's the case,
Well, you know what? I would love to hope and believe that this world would produce people
mm,
that were always perfect, like you fine gentlemen.
no,
oh,
no,
But
no.
whoa,
the world,
whoa,
nope,
whoa,
let me
whoa,
finish, let me finish,
oh,
let me finish.
perfect.
Feel me up for a second. But the world produced fuckholes also. Okay.
Of course,
And where I was a fuckhole.
Oh,
with you.
And he is not work. No, wait, think I'm the only one?
No, I'm not saying.
What number is Gerald? Three. All three before him, or all two before him.
I
Read
got you,
between the line. You understand? So
but then
that's
you
where
have
the
to.
tendencies
what
No, I
come
line?
in.
got you, but you have to let Gerald see that for
He
himself.
could find out later. Anyway, love you guys. Have a good night. I'm not leaving, but I'm leaving the.
Oh, cause I had a question though.
Go ahead, darling.
All right, you said you fought for Gerald 12 years ago when Gerald was just a baby. How much of a fight did his father put up?
Um, so we entered in '09, like right when he turned one. And by 2011, that was the last time he saw him. So after I won custody in March 2010, um, there was visitation. There was supervised visitation. Um, I believe that my son's father put up as much fight that he had in him. Make sense?
I know it makes perfect sense.
You know, he tried. You know, it wasn't as so much as sole custody fight. It was more like, oh, I don't want her to do this, or oh, I don't want her to do that. And, the courts prolonged it. Sometimes you went there for 2 seconds and they're like, all right, we'll readjourn because he doesn't have this. Or, it was a lot of foolishness. But it is what it is now. And he did reach out via Facebook and all kind of bullshit. Um, I forgot what year, but it was like 18, 19, something like that.
Hmm.
And he reached out, and all I want to do is talk to my son. And it was like a lot of bitch and bitch, 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 bitch.
But did you let him
So
talk to his son?
he called me a fucking bitch. You think you're gonna talk to your fucking son when you call me a fucking bitch?
See, but now you're making it personal, like that. What?
Right, because okay, let's be
Because
honest,
your
right? At
relationship is
the
fucked
end
up.
of the day,
Hmm.
I am still a human being. Yes or no?
No, you're absolutely
The
right. I'm glad you
human
said it.
being that has your fucking son, the human being that has been supporting your child this whole time, and you felt the correct way to talk to me. Birfmark, how long have we been doing this phone thing? December, November, October?
Yeah, something like that.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gonna think you will look
November,
at me and be
October.
like, you fucking bitch, can I speak to my son? What do you think I'm gonna do?
Of course, I
Okay.
understand. I'm
So
not saying
you
that.
can
I'm not
say
saying
it's
that.
feelings or it's whatever, but
no.
at the end of the day, if you wanted to speak to your fucking son, come to me correctly. Because
But
if I am feelings
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I am the gatekeeper to this fucking son.
But again,
And see, and that's where a
you're
lot of
taking it
fathers. That's where
personal.
no. See, that's where a lot of fathers get
Yeah.
put out there. And
But
it's a statement
you're
that you
hindering
just said.
you're
You're the
hindering your
gatekeeper.
son. Exactly. You're the gatekeeper.
You're the
Yes.
gatekeeper.
Yes.
You're
That's
hindering
his
your
Yes.
son
child.
to
Yes.
speak to his father
Yes.
because
Yes.
you're upset.
That's his child
No,
too.
okay. It is his child too. Go through the fucking courts the way I did.
Why go? Why do we
You,
have? Why does? Why do we
you.
have to go through all of that?
Why do you have to go through all what?
Why we
What you
have to go
just
to
said.
court?
Oh, because that's where everybody act like they have some kind of common sense.
But this is the thing. You guys are on bad terms, so it's never going to be good.
Perfect way to go through the court.
No,
But
no, and
why?
I'm telling you from experience, if you on bad
That's a
terms,
waste of time.
the courts are biased against a lot of fathers.
Of
Well,
course
It
they
don't
are.
matter
you know
what
what?
no, I'm telling you from experience. You can
I'm
go
not saying you're
I'll be
not.
right back.
you could be the calmest man in the room. You can have all your documents. You can have all your positive words. If she sits there and say, "Well, he threatened me," it's a whole new ball game.
Well, Mister.
Because I can sit there and say, when I was in court, the first they asked her, "Oh, did he threaten you? Is he making you sign this documentation? Are you willing to sign your name to this paper?" And I'm sitting there like, she kept my child away from me. I'm fighting just to be in his life. And you're asking her if I threatened her?
Well,
Why are you not asking her why did you keep this man away from his child? And these are the courts. So it's like, that's why we said when a lot of men sit there and say, "Oh, you should," when people say you should have fought harder, why is that the case? If I'm already trying to be a father, why can't you excuse your personal feelings about it and just let me be in my child's life
well,
or have my time with my child?
here's what I have to say. Right? You're not him, and he's not you. You feel me? And I believe I am a very semi-level-headed person, and I do hold a grudge. I will not lie to anyone. I do. At the same time, the only person that interest I have at heart is my child. I am not trying to be like, oh my God. And no, no.
technically you're not.
If
Technically, you don't have the best interest of your child because
well,
you are
hey,
sitting there
listen,
making it personal.
listen. Then hey, like I said, this is how I feel,
I'm
and
not denying your feelings. Everybody has. I'm just saying,
We're not denying the feelings.
yeah, your
And
feelings are great and they're valid. So there's nothing wrong. You don't have to say that because at the end of the day, it is your feelings and how you feel. I'm just saying on the flip side of it that you're making a decision based
hmm
off of how you feel about that man, as opposed to how your son feels about his father.
okay. Well, I'm doing the best I can,
I mean, we're all a work in progress. So again, I'm not saying
and
anything wrong about you.
I'm
But
doing the best I can, and I'm just happy to honestly say I don't sit here and man bash him,
no, I got you.
you
no,
know?
no, no. We didn't.
And that's the most I feel like I respect Gerald's father in the sense like I don't have certain things like you know how people have men running in and out and this and that and this and that. No one can come to me and say, "Hey, John, no, we don't have John talks." So that's the most as a person can
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And is it right? Probably not. Is it wrong? Probably. Do I give two flyers?
No, you
I
don't.
don't.
No,
Okay.
I
I sat down and I watched certain things, you know, and I do not regret having Gerald at all. No, 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 no. I don't. I
Hmm.
really love every ounce of my son, right? The man who gave him to me, yeah, I can live without that one. So,
but I mean, we're not saying that you
well,
should live with him. We're not saying that you don't love Gerald. We're not trying to say you regret having him. But what we're trying to explain from the father side of the spectrum is
You need to.
what you're
you
trying to
don't have to. You
explain
don't
from the
have to like him.
father,
We're not
from the
asking. We're
you're
not
trying to
asking you to like us.
explain from the father's perspective for
No,
the
we're speaking
men
to you from a
you
general
are.
perspective.
No, no, no. You can't though, because he's not general like either one of y'all. He's
What
No,
not
but
like
who's
it
to sit
doesn't
there and
matter.
say no? But who's to sit there and say the mother of our children is not describing us the way you're describing Charles' father?
oh, I don't care.
But see, that's
Exactly.
what I'm trying to say.
What we're
That's
trying to
what we're
say is,
facing. We're
we're,
facing women who saying, "Oh, they're
Y'all
the
want his name on Facebook so y'all could go see
bro,
who he
it's
is in
not that
no, no, no,
person?
serious.
no. We don't want no. You're not understanding what we're trying to say. The way you feel about his father is the way some of these women are describing the fathers of their children, and the
Okay.
fathers of their children may be like me in birthmark, but to the people who's listening to the mother,
Well,
they just like, oh, these dudes are just the scrum of the earth. They're crap.
What
I
I'm saying
would.
is, you should be able to give your son the opportunity to find out if his father's a fuck up to him, not because his father's a fuck up to you. Because y'all
Okay.
relationship didn't work out. He could be the most fucked up person to you, but he could be the greatest father to him. But you have to give Gerald that opportunity to find that out about his father. You can't make that decision for him.
Oh well, according to New York courts, I can.
Okay, so according to New York courts, Gerald holds hostility towards you as he gets older. Then what's gonna happen?
We'll cross that bridge. Like I said when we first started, this is a freaking experiment. Okay? It's an experiment. Honestly speaking, it's an experiment. And you
Okay.
can look at it in a negative way or whatever. I know what I know. I'm not divulging everything that
No, I
happened.
got you. You don't have to.
We're
You
not.
shouldn't.
We're
You
not
know?
asking you to. We're not trying to. We're not asking you to go
So
into detail like that.
I am just saying that everything sounds pretty, but not everything is pretty. And when you're saying, oh, well, this is okay, and I will take all responsibility for my action in what, 4 years? Because all this is over in 4 years.
think it's over in 4 years.
Yeah, well, he could get
Well,
him
you
then.
never stop being a parent, so it's not over in 4 years.
No, no, no. I'm saying when he gets 18, and I've always said that. When he get 18, I'll help him. I'll help him find him. I understand that there's a lot of years lost, and who knows if the fucker will make it. I'm okay with that too. Took a lot of searching for me to be okay with what I'm doing. Life will be a lot easier too. Send him away for a weekend, have a weekend off. Life would be so much easier. Send him away for the summer. Yeah, easy. But I don't want an easy life. I want a child whose mind is semi okay. I understand that no one will ever take John's place because that is his father or that is the man who impregnated me. But I believe sometimes you gotta do the hard thing when you believe it's the right thing.
But your belief may not be the right thing because
Okay.
Her
you're
belief
not
is right to
giving
her.
you're not giving
Yes.
your child the opportunity to make that decision.
Well, look. Like I said, her belief is her belief. So
Oh
it,
yeah.
it's right to her because that's what she believes. So I'm not here to try to dispute that. That's not what I mean. I'm just trying to discuss in general that there are situations where the mother do have their personal feelings, and it does interact on how the child communicate or be around with the father. That's my concern. Like I've had that conversation where it was like, oh, I'm his mother. If you don't respect me, you can't talk to him. But in the same respect, you cursed me out like I was worse than whatever just 2 nights ago. You know,
Well,
like
again,
how are you sitting there asking me to give you all this respect and this honor as his mother when you talk to me like I'm worse than dirt? You talk about me like I'm worse than dirt, and I'm sitting there like, and despite how you discuss with me, I've never sat there and said I'm not coming to get him because you disrespected me. Like my time with him or the time with my child has nothing to do with my personal relationship with you. That's the thing. I mean, I'm not to say it's easy, but I think a lot of people are really stuck in their feelings when it comes to raising, stuck in their feelings about how they feel about each other, than opposed to what's best for the child. Because honestly, in today's world, it's easy to spend time with your child. Because, prime example, if I pick my kid up from after school and I take him to school that next Monday morning, me and you really don't even have to see each other. If we want to communicate, you can text me. If you want to be more professional with it, send me an email. But you don't have to hear my voice if it bothers you so much, or just seeing my phone number pisses you off. There's other options, and there's a lot of parents, because I'm not going to sit there and say just mothers. There's a lot of dudes who start conflict when they don't have to be there, when they don't have to be conflict. It's just like, okay, just pick up your child, enjoy yourself. Like I know dudes who be on some, oh, I'm gonna go to the mother house to see my babies, and my thing is the weather outside is not bad. You can take your kid to the park for a little while, take him for ice cream for a little while. You're choosing to sit up in that woman's house while she has your kids because you're trying to block her from having another dude around. That don't make no sense. Y'all not together. Let her have her life. You just worry about you spending time with your children. Just like how, hey, ladies, let that man get his child. Like, he shouldn't have to fight to be a father. Like, and honestly, people are crappy when it comes to being in relationships or being crappy as adults to each other. But then they wind up to be some of the greatest parents out there. They be like, listen, like I can tell you right now, when it comes to being in relationships, no, I'm not the greatest dude in the world. I'm not abusive or nothing like that or disrespectful, but I don't make it work. But one relationship I know that I'm on point with is being this dude's father. So it was like me and you could hate each other all day, every day. But at the end of the day, it's all about him.
Yeah, it's not about y'all, it's about the kid.
At the end of the day, it's all about him. Like you can't and it's like, and I mean, this one specific instance, like she got mad at me because I took him to Disney World. Oh, you trying to one up me as a parent? This is not a competition. My
Yeah, you
parents
just
took me to
you just
yeah,
try to give your child the best experience that he has.
my parents took me to Disney World. Why can't I take him to Disney World?
Hmm.
Like, come on.
I get it.
Like, do you not want him? Do you want him to stay in the hood the whole time? That don't make sense to me.
I
Let him go
totally
see
get it.
different parts of the world, or at least different parts of this country. Let him get on the airplane ride. Like, oh, you took him to Rock Playland and Coney Island. Okay, he had a good summer. What's wrong with that? Let him in. Let him have fun.
She's envious. She's jealous because she wanted to do those things with you too.
But at that particular time, he was with her majority of the time. You had all the time in the world to do the stuff with him. You chose not to.
She didn't. It's not. My opinion is I don't think it's just the fact that you took him. She wanted to go too as a family
Well, I nipped
because
that
you
shit in
already
the
know
bud.
that she wants to. She wanted to be with you anyway.
I nipped that shit in the bud
No, I
early.
get you, but that's what that issue wasn't about. It wasn't the fact of her
And
wanting
yeah, and I'm not one of them dudes that
to. Yeah,
play the fence where like, oh, I try to cozy up and be family lovey dovey. Just to no, we're not together. Mm-mm, no. Like even when you go to soccer on Saturdays, if she decided to come to soccer, I stand on the other side of the soccer field.
yeah, I get it.
Hey, how you doing? But I'm not standing next to you like we cool like that. We're not. You know,
I
I'm
get
not
it.
gonna beef with you, but I'm not gonna play you close either.
I get it.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about him. But
But then just maybe not saying that you have to, but I mean Hunter's cool with it right now. But as he gets older, he may feel a certain way, so you may have to stand next to her. I mean, you ain't gotta converse with her. You ain't gotta
no,
talk to
he say things like, he want me and his mom to be friends,
her. Exactly.
and
Now,
I'm not against that.
no,
But
but you don't have to be friends.
you know,
Just play friends. Play cordial while he's around. That's
dude,
different. So
I've
you don't have to be
I've,
friends
I've
with her.
tried.
Yeah, you
I've
don't have to be
tried.
friends with her. So, but it's
Yeah,
not you.
like some of us we try to play cordial, but the other parent be like ready to attack. You be like, whoa,
Well,
wait,
then
see, then I can't.
you still play cordial because as he gets older, I mean, he already sees it now. He's smart. He's 7 years old. He'll be 7 years old. As he gets older, he's gonna still see that mommy's an asshole. But you still be cordial and you still play
Yeah, I don't
the
disrespect her. I don't
yeah,
talk down on her. I don't talk down about her. When he sits there and say he want to call her, all right, cool, let's call her.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
it's
Like me,
just
I don't
like
have nothing bad to say about Taryn's mom. I don't. Like we're great co-parents. It's just some like I said, her move made me feel a certain way because it was like
it put more distance between you and
it
your
put more
sister.
distance, and she is not even though she didn't have to get my permission when
It
she
still would have
told
been
me
nice if
about
she
it.
had, yeah.
When she told me about it, her mind was already made up. It wasn't like, oh hey Dwight, I'm thinking about moving, blah 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 blah. All she came was she was like, oh, I'm moving in a couple of months, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Wow. I mean, and that's
so
the thing about, and this is what we was trying to explain. Like, when the woman has the child for majority of physical custody, they do feel like they can make any decision they want to make concerning the child, and it's like, but both of us are raising this child.
hmm
Like the only reason why I mean the child is really living with you is because I haven't really fought to have the child live with me, or my
not even
schedule
that.
is that.
Because if
Well,
both parents are not even the whole fighting thing, because if both parents are great parents, they're gonna give the kid to the mom automatically.
yeah, you
Both
gotta.
parents
That's what I'm
can
saying,
be
and that's another thing. You have to prove that the mother
is
is
unfit.
so messed up
Exactly.
that the child has
So
to be removed from the household.
both
And
parents
this
are
is
great. The courts are gonna automatically give the kids to their mom.
especially if the baby. If you go, the only way you might get if you go before the baby turns 1, there's a chance because they're like, well, it's new, whatever. Who got the better schedule? But after that baby hit like 6 months to a year, well, the baby's already been with the mother. So why are we changing it? And I think this is where when a lot of women sit there and say, "Oh, you should have fought harder." When you deal with a biased system that already looks at you as the loser, you can fight but so hard. You know, you can only fight but so hard. Like as a dude, if they sit there and tell you to bring back some paperwork and you don't have it, you will be held accountable for that. That will be held against you. But if they ask the mother to bring back something, oh, I don't have it. Okay, well, we're re-adjourning for a month later and then you bring it in. Wait, how did she get another chance? But it's already being held against me. You know?
Yo, I went to court years ago. Like 4 years ago. Went to court. I was in there taking care, whatever I had to take care. So there was a man in there. Him and his wife just got divorced, right? Mind you, they had 3 kids. He was making about 110,000 a year. She cheated on him, but she took him to court.
But she
So
cheated on him.
she cheated on him, but she took him to court, right, for child support or whatever, whatever, because he left. But when he went to court, he was asking. He was like, "Look, she cheated on me. You know, let's split the time. You know, whatever, whatever, whatever." The judge was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you joint custody, but the kids are gonna stay with the mom, and you have to pay the child support." So of course, 3 kids. He was
That's a lot of
making a
money.
hundred and something thousand a year. He after child support, he was giving her, let's see, 100, let's say 110. After child support, he was only bringing home himself like maybe $40,000.
Believe
Mind
it.
you, he had the kids every weekend or every other week because he had joint custody. That's one. So the money that he needed when he had them, he couldn't really do much with them because the mom was getting all this child support, but his income couldn't even fucking take care of the kids when they were him. And he was in court. He was like, "But Your Honor," he was like, "but the kids are gonna be with me every weekend or every whatever the stipulations are." He's like, "I can't take them nowhere because I don't have no money. I gotta pay rent or mortgage. I gotta pay my car note. So all the money I'm making, you're fucking giving it to her. So how am I supposed to do this?"
They don't count. They don't
And they
care.
don't care
They don't care.
because, like I said, mind you, she cheated on him. That's why he left. He was still
And
with
that's
his
why some
kids.
dudes like it's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah, this shit is nuts. What you said, Toya? I did proof that he was an awful daddy. Okay, I hear you. He was an awful daddy to his son when he was alive. To your son, or he was an awful daddy to his other kids. That's the
Because I
thing.
mean, if you took him to court while he was one, you didn't get a chance to be an awful daddy to your child.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It,
I mean, it's a
it can
sensitive
go on both
subject.
sides. We're not sitting here, male, women bashing because we do understand the situation. With there's a lot more deadbeat dads out there than there are deadbeat moms. But nowadays, within the past
Oh wait,
5 to 10 years, a lot of
Toya
women
calling in again.
have been deadbeats.
I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. So wait a second. What you're
Don't
saying
apologize.
is no, is I should have waited until he was awful to my child?
No, but
No,
who was he
what we're trying
awful
to
to?
say
Was he
is
awful to his other kids?
Yes. Like we went to the same judge that he was in the other courtroom with the other baby mother.
Hmm.
So it was easy to prove my case. Not like she did not already remember.
and see, and that's something that um the courts changed because when I brought up her past case with her previous child, they kindly looked me in my face and said, "Well, that was that case. This is a different. This is a different case." And
And
I'm
that's
like,
what they also told me. They did. They said one have nothing to do with the other. And that's why I'm happy that my baby daddy lazier than fucking shit. Okay?
I hear you.
I ain't it. As I said, like sometimes it's hard, but hey, like you said, you gotta fight for what you want. But sometimes, like it's hard. I mean, most dudes gotta learn the law because if I can't afford to pay for certain things with child support, I can't afford a lawyer. So it's like I gotta go there and fight my court by myself. And but it is what it is. I mean, you just got to be
Um,
there as much as you can. And
Stupid question. How do I hang up the call without leaving?
I don't know how that works. I never had to hang up a call.
Don't you? Can't you just click?
Leave.
Oh no! If you leave studio, you're leaving the whole thing. Um,
Wait, I know we got one where we could dude, when I hit leave, it give me a choice. I want to leave the whole thing or just
that's
or
because you're the. Let me see.
oh, she's the audience. Yeah, that's right.
You see?
Oh, wait, turn your camera off.
I have on clothes, but that was an accident.
No, it's okay. Birfmark done, but he done left. He done left. He done hit the button by mistake.
I took this one though.
But yeah, yeah, that's all it is. We just trying to. I mean, we just trying to bring awareness to the fact that
Yeah, when you hit leave studio, it takes you out of the whole thing.
Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't do that one. Yeah, like I said, we're not trying to woman bash. We're just trying to bring
No,
light
I
to the
don't.
subject.
I didn't think you were woman bashing.
But we just want to bring
Um,
light to the whole situation that some men do try to fight for their children, but we're fighting a biased court system that's like we don't care. You
well,
know,
I will not lie on this incident, just for my case, because that's what I hear about. I am happy it's biased if that's the way you look at it.
yeah, like and like even with child support, women try to downplay us. They be like, "Oh, you get mad because what's 17 cents out of 100?" Wait, they take child support after you take out taxes. So after Uncle Sam take his 30 to 35%, then they X on that extra 17. So how much am I living off of then? Like
No.
they don't understand that either.
Oh, she
Like,
figured out how to do it. Okay.
oh, that's so
Oh
cool.
no, she did. She got rid
No,
of it.
she didn't. She gone.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that. Well, everybody in TV land heard me when I sat there and said, um, yeah, like so. Even with child support, you can't. They downplay that. Like, oh, so you get. Some of us make good money. You know, some of us get good money.
Mhm.
So when we get hit, we get hit. I
Mhm.
mean, because I think there was something I just saw on Facebook when it was a young black woman talking about how she took her baby father off for child support because she was like, if he can't better help, he can't better help me take care of our child if he's struggling. So she said, let me take him off. He ain't got much. Let him build up what he got, and then when he build up, he can sit there and be like, all right, maybe he can contribute. Like I just look at it like a lot of men don't get a chance to take care of their children.
When
Some
I
women
went to
just
court,
automatically run down there like, I want child support. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm gonna do for my child.
well, somebody put me on child support because they were angry at me at the time, and they knew they were gonna get money because they didn't get something from their previous child. But that's a different story. When they took me to court, I sat there and I literally told the judge, I said, "How am I supposed to survive?" I said, "You're gonna take out all this money from me. I barely could pay my rent. I have joint custody, yes, but where am I gonna stay? Who am I gonna live with? How am I gonna survive?"
Toya's back in the building.
And you know what she said? Figure it out. And it was a black judge, a black old lady judge.
The
And
court make you put the father on child support
yes,
if you go on welfare.
yes, they do, Toya.
Oh, she ain't got welfare. She's got food stamps. So she took me because she wanted
Well,
to.
yeah, food stamps, yeah, but for public assistance, yes.
Yeah, public assistance. Yeah, they make you take the
Yeah.
child.
If they make if you say you know who the father is, if the father's on the birth certificate and you say you know who the father is, they look for it. If you don't know who the father is, then they're not gonna find it. Allegedly.
Because why would you get money from the city or the state when you got somebody who can actually help you raise your child? So I understand why they do that. I remember when I had to do that when I worked on cases, and I was like, "Do you know what the father is?"
Man, I was like, fuck it, I ain't care. Free money, just get it.
I don't
You
know.
gonna
Like I
get you
said,
gonna
they,
get it
they
anyway.
gotta they
You
gotta
ain't
be a
gonna fight.
better way.
Yeah. But yeah, that shit hurt my feelings when I went to court, and I told her, "How am I supposed to survive?" I said, "I'm not." I told her, I was like, we sat there. I said, "You can ask Miss this person. I'm not gonna say her name." I said, "But you can ask this person, am I a great dad?" And the judge was like, "Is Mr. Hallett a great dad?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "So how the fuck am I gonna survive? What am I gonna do?" I said, "I
Yeah, I
barely."
get.
I said, "I'm
Man, I
back
get
on
a
my feet."
text message every year talking about, you a real father. I got other girls I know got baby daddies, but I have Hunter has a real father. I'm like, leave me alone. Shut up.
You said what happened to it? They don't give you help if you say you don't know. I didn't say I didn't know. The judge told me. I mean, well, I did say I didn't know, but how am I gonna survive? Figure it out. How the fuck am I supposed to figure something out when you taking all my money?
Yeah, that's what it is. Even though the paperwork says bring all your expenses,
They don't even look at that shit.
they only got the dude. The dude literally looked at me and said, "Listen, New York State law demands that you pay
17%. Yep.
17%."
She ain't looking at none of my
I was
shit. She
like,
ain't looking at
"What's all?
my
Then why did I bring all this?"
car
And the
fare,
paperwork
the
says
state,
bring all your
none of
expenses,
it.
your utilities,
Nope.
everything. And I'm like, okay, I got everything. I put like I even bring out my life insurance papers. Got life insurance papers. This stuff come out my check. This come out my check. Oh, it's
Nope.
17%. I'm like, you didn't look at none of it.
None of it.
Like just automatically. Wow, that kind of sucks.
Okay,
So
so as a woman, if you go to the courts and say, "I don't know who the father is," welfare will not give you help. Yes, they will. They're mandated to give you help.
yeah, trust me. I mean, I literally worked for the city and
There's
do
people that
cases
go
with.
in there all the time because I used to do it. People go in there all the time saying they don't know who the father is.
Yep.
And the father's not on their fucking child support. I mean, on the birth certificate, and they still get their assistance.
Yeah, they still get it.
And they
I've been
turn
there.
your ass down. I don't know why. It might have been that caseworker,
It could have been
but
at work because I know one time I tried to do. My supervisor said,
forced
"Nope,
it.
you got to give them help."
Yep, they
They
have to
they
give you
said they
help
don't know where the person, they don't know where they at.
because their
Listen,
job as eligibility specialists or eligibility is just to give it to you. Now, if they decide that they want to put you in for fraud or some shit, then it goes further.
that's the
But
different. That's the thing. But
as
we
an
can't
emergency
deny you
specialist,
eligibility at that moment.
yep, they have to give it to you. Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Were you
Yeah,
working at the time, Toya? That's why they turned your ass down because you were making money.
you was probably making money.
Now, if you were making more than the income poverty line, of course they're gonna turn you down because you're not gonna, you don't need it. I mean, you need it
They don't even
technically,
care.
yes,
Yeah, they don't care what the baby
but
daddy is because you
over the
working and
poverty
you.
line, they're not gonna give you that shit.
But for the most part, if you working and you don't have any income, and we were like, oh, how you support yourself, and we're like, well, where's the father? I don't know. Okay, they don't know where the
That's
father
it.
is.
Just write that shit in the notes and that's it. Move on. Okay.
Keep it moving. I know I had to write that note plenty of times. Matter of fact, I was working on 125th, and I witnessed a worker tell an applicant, listen, that's your baby daddy. Leave now. Come back next week with an application. Don't bring him with you and say you don't know where he's at. And it will be easier for you to get. And she told me it would be easier to get food stamps. I mean, I didn't know Spanish, but I know when you sit there and you try to put somebody on with some game. I was like, that's some shit.
Oh my god.
I was like, wow. I was like,
Yeah, I used to see mad shit when I was working in that office,
I was
man.
like, yo, are y'all really just lying, right? Straight up in Spanish. I know I don't understand, but I know when you telling them some bullshit, man. I know you put them on some game.
I used to see mad shit.
Yo, it was real. That's what it is. But
All
yeah,
right,
man.
bro. I know.
Yeah, we
I
passed the
gotta
mark.
get up.
So thanks for everybody coming out.
I gotta get up at 5.
Next week we go right back down the rabbit hole. We'll probably talk about paternal fraud and you know
Ooh,
what happens when you find out the child ain't yours years later. Should that money go back? All that old child support you pay should be a bill to give you back all your money.
ooh.
Like I mean, we're just gonna go down a rabbit hole. Fuck it. This is what this platform was for us men to talk about what we go through, what we experience. It's not to say we're gonna bash women, but women, this ain't about y'all right now. Y'all have more than enough fun. You look, y'all got black girl magic, okay? Take that, have fun with it.
Y'all got the view. Y'all got what's the other shit? I don't know. The
Yeah, they
real
got the view, the soup, or something like that. The talk,
red table talk,
red table talk,
all that shit.
and this is what we talk about. So thanks for coming out. We'll catch y'all next week. You know, I'll be here with my big blue cup. I think I'm gonna get a new cup. I think I want a new water cup.
I might have a drink next week. I don't know.
I'm not having a drink. I'm gonna have me a new water cup. I'm gonna treat myself. I deserve
I
one.
don't even think I'm gonna be drinking like that no more on a fucking Wednesday because I gotta get up so early to go to work now. So
Matter of fact, no alcohol until my birthday.
wow, I
I'm
can't
gonna have me a drink when I go to that place.
I can't say that.
The sipping science experiments. Let me try that.
I'll drink on the weekend, but not during the week.
Let's think it's I'm gonna drink on the weekend. Look, I only drink on the 2 occasions, night and day.
You stupid ass. Y'all have a good night.
All right, good night, everybody.